Bring it a blazing.
Hi, Katelyn. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's great to see you. Thanks for joining me for this edition of Discover UC, brought to us by Astorg Auto. Sorry it's a little bit of a rainy day.
It is
Appreciate you being
nasty.
a trooper here.
Of course.
Yep, but everything will be nice and green for graduation. That's what we want. So, you excited about commencement coming up?
Oh gosh, I'm so excited. The program just has flown by, and it's really hard to believe that it's almost here.
Yeah. So, why don't we start off? Why don't you tell everybody kind of who you are? Tell us your name and kind of where you're from and what you're studying here at UC.
Okay. So my name's Katelyn Barnhart. I'm from North Carolina originally, but I've lived in Logan, West Virginia my entire life, just about. I am currently majoring in physician assistant studies here at UC, and like we just said, about a month out from graduation.
Excellent. So, what got you interested in becoming a physician assistant?
So I've always wanted to do some kind of medicine, I think. I knew that I never wanted to be in school for a super long time. Granted, I have been now for about 6 years, but still better than a lot of other programs. I think the most appealing part to me about being a PA is the ability to move within specialties. I think I have a hard time choosing what I would like to do and having to make a decision and specialize for the rest of my life. I think that just sounds really, really stressful. Other than that, I think it'll be really great, like I said, that the program's pretty short. I'll be 25 this year, so I'm going to be starting my career out pretty early.
Great. So lots of different programs across the country. What were some of the reasons why you decided to apply to UC, and what did you learn about the university and the program through that whole kind of application and admissions process?
So being from Southern West Virginia, UC, of course, is the closest. I think it's really important to have a good family support in such a program, such as PA program. At the time, too, my mom was sick, so it was really important to me to be close by in case I needed to go home, or and I was able to visit whenever I wanted. So when researching the programs, UC really stuck out to me because of its contribution to rural communities and serving rural medicine. In addition to that, UC really likes to advertise its small class sizes and its real family type environment.
Good. One of the features of the program is, in addition to kind of learning all about anatomy and physiology and medical things, you do a lot of different clinical rotations. So having done all those, what are your plans after graduation? What are you excited about doing with your degree?
So that's a good thing you brought that up. Like I said previously, I really enjoy UC's strive to provide to underserved communities. With that being said, the program does require that we do 2 rural rotations to kind of get that experience, to see what these medically underserved populations are in need of and how desperate the communities are. So after graduation, I am going to stay here in Charleston. I've considered going back to Logan. I think starting out, it would be good to start here just because I've done all my rotations here, had the chance to meet a lot of people and make connections in these hospitals. So I'm actually going to be working at CAMC, Women's and Children's. I'm going to be in the emergency department. CAMC is located right here in the heart of Charleston. So I'm going to be working with 2 specific populations. So like I said, women's health, as long as pediatrics, OB, and other subtypes like that.
Well, that's exciting. So you actually did a clinical rotation at that hospital?
Yep. So during my ER rotation, I was able to cycle within the different ERs here. I got to go to General, which is considered your trauma center, as well as neurology, Memorial, which is like your cardiac type hospital, and then I also got to go to Women's and Children's for a few days of that rotation. And while I was there, I made a lot of good connections with the preceptors, and I had actually just casually asked one day, I was like, are you guys going to hire anytime soon? And they're like, yeah, actually we are. So lo and behold, I sent in an application and got the job.
Fantastic. Must have made a good impression while you were there. So, well, congratulations. That must be a real relief, kind of having a job lined up and knowing what you're going to be doing kind of well before kind of commencement, and kind of worrying about, well, what am I going to do next? How am I going to pay these loans back? Well, that's great. And we certainly have a great partnership with Charleston Area Medical Center and lots of students doing clinical rotations across a variety of our healthcare programs, and students taking jobs there after graduation, having great experiences. So what advice do you have for future students, whether it's somebody who may be a little bit younger than you that's this fall going to be transitioning from high school to college, or somebody who's about to enter grad school and come here to UC and in the PA program, or one of our other graduate degrees? What are some things that would be kind of good for them to know, or things you wish you knew when you were starting on your journey here?
So I would say for those who may be coming out of high school, going into undergrad, I wouldn't worry so much early on figuring out what you want to do. At that age, I was 17 when I graduated high school. You're expected so much. You're expected to know exactly what you want to do, where you want to go, how you're going to do it. And then with a lot of grad schools and high schools, they're like, you have to have all this experience and shadowing and volunteer hours. I would just take it slow as soon as you enter undergrad. Slowly throughout the year, you can start to compile things you need to do. But I think most importantly is just not stressing yourself out too much with trying to make a decision. I think, like I said, a lot of pressure is put on kids at that age, and that's honestly such a young age to be expected to make a lifelong decision. For undergrad as well, of course, it's so important to take your classes seriously and to do well, because even your classes, your first semester, or the classes you feel might not be important, will ultimately be so important later on, because they all factor into something if you want to go get a job or go into grad school. Now, coming into the PA program, I would say some things I wish I knew was it's going to be super hard, but also one of the best times of your lives. I think I've made some tremendous friendships throughout this program, some really great relationships with the professors, and made great connections throughout. I think I would tell people coming into the program to not underestimate it, but not to allow yourself so much stress and worry that you miss out on a lot of things. And I think my first semester I kind of messed up because I didn't allow myself to do anything, because I was so worried that I needed to study all the time. You have to realize that there is plenty of time, actually, if you allow yourself to have that time. You don't have to be studying all the time. It's okay to take the nap. It's okay to, cook dinner or go out with your family or something like that.
Absolutely. It's one of the things I always encourage students that, listen, we wouldn't have admitted you to the University of Charleston if we didn't think you were going to do great things and have a really successful experience here. So you have the tools, you have the ability, you just need to kind of figure things out, find your pace, find your rhythm, and make sure you kind of have the right balance so that it doesn't become too overwhelming.
Oh yeah, that's very important.
Good. Well, Katelyn, thanks so much. I really appreciate you taking some time to drive around with me, and look forward to seeing you walk across the stage in your cap and gown and handing you your diploma. Job well done.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.